Spring Texas driver Chris Brown last year, runner-up finish here. I know you've ran strong here in the past. One more rung to get to the top.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can do one spot better. That sure would be nice, and to get that crown and the cape that goes along with it, that would be great. But you know, it's going to be tough with all these cars here. We got our work cut out, so you know, hopefully things will go our way.
You are one of those guys that have now ventured over into the late models. You're dipping in chassis now. Tell us about the LG21.
Well, it's just kind of our spin on the LG2 car. You know, we get the frames from Jimmy and those guys, and then we do our own shock and spring deal and pull bar deal. So it's unique to our cars, but you know, and then trying to offer these guys some help. I think the biggest complaint that we hear from a lot of guys is the lack of help that they're getting from their chassis builders. So we're trying to step that up a notch and not just kind of hand them a baseline setup sheet and say, you know, here you go, but trying to help them long past that and get the car tailored to what they like and their driving style, because everybody has their own different driving style. So you know, it gives us an opportunity to better work with those guys and get it tailored to them.
You're one of those guys also that has a nice looking website where you can go on and check out your schedule. It looks like you have a full plate, a full menu ahead of you this season for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're going to bounce around and try and hit you know, a good bit of mod races as well as some late model stuff. Just trying to, instead of chasing points, trying to pick and choose where we want to go, where we're comfortable with, and places where we know we're going to get a good racetrack. And obviously Humboldt is one of those places, you know, when you come to, you're gonna have, it's not going to be the racetrack's fault that you run in the back or whatever. You know, you have an opportunity to move forward, and that's the kind of places we want to go.
When you get into these big races, the long laps like this, last year you started 10th, I believe it was. Took a while for you to get up in there, but right at the end you really poured it on. Do you just bide your time in these things, or tell us a little bit, take us through the maybe last 20 laps or so, what your mind thought is?
Well, yeah, you do have to bide your time. I think here more than ever, you've got to really take care of your tires. This place, when it gets slick, it's really bad about sealing up tires. And so if you push too hard early, you're not going to have anything late for those guys. And so we really tried to pace ourselves. And also a thing that you see here is the cars are so close. I mean, we were out there hot lapping earlier, and everybody's within a 2/10 window. So then it comes down to mistakes. Who's going to make the most mistakes or the fewest mistakes, and you can capitalize on them. So, you know, that's a big deal for us. And like I said, tire management here, you don't want to beat on your tires too much early because they will go away. And if you seal up, you're done. I mean, at that point, you're praying for a caution so you can come in and change a couple tires and go back out there, because they just won't go.
The practice session, are you able to kind of gauge yourself off of maybe another driver? Do you maybe pick one or two guys out to see how you're measuring up or stacking up against those guys out there in the practice sessions?
Definitely. You know, if you get out there with some guys, you Stormy, Jason Hughes, you know, Zach here, you definitely try and gauge off some folks. But you know, when you have this many guys here, sometimes it's somebody that you don't expect it from. Somebody that maybe that I wouldn't say you don't expect it from, but maybe you don't race with enough. You know, like prime example, a guy like Joey Jensen. I don't race with him enough, but I know he's a really good driver. And if I go out there and I see him on the racetrack, then we're going to definitely time him. I know he had a good run here last year, so you try and keep up with that as much as you can to try and get a beat on it. And really, it comes down to timing guys, because the stopwatch, it doesn't lie. So if the stopwatch tells you that, you know, Random Joe is, you know, 3 or 4 tenths better, then that's who you need to be gauging off of.
Well, Chris, certainly good luck here throughout the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, guys.